I swear to God, if this is another Chien-Pao mirror match. Literally the same matchup as the last round. Literally the same matchup. What the heck? What's up, guys? Ninja Nick back with another round of the Japan Champions League. They really like showing Chien-Pao on stream. I don't know why, but here we are. I'm going to try to break this tournament up with my local tournaments in between, just because of how much Chien-Pao there is. I do have to wait until this upcoming Saturday, which might be by the time this video is out, in order to get the footage from a League Cup that I was at previously. They live streamed it, and of course I decided not to record, and then they didn't leave it up on Twitch. It like auto deleted, so I have to get it off their server when I go there for their League Challenge this weekend, which I don't even know why I'm going to League Challenges anymore. I have 3 firsts and 3 seconds. So what am I going to do? Earn 3 CP if I win one? Like, and not get any if I... although it does give me the option to play some more rogue and weird strategies, some more fun decks. So I might be able to get some more interesting games for the channel. So I will say that much. And yep, looks like it's another Chien-Pao mirror match. Who'da thunk? Those Greninja sleeves are really sick, though. I haven't seen those ones before. So these are 2 0-2 players, it looks like. Oh, man. I love this tournament. So we are going to start with the Battle VIP Pass. That's always the great way that you want to start in any deck that plays the Battle VIP Pass, is start with it. And that allows you to search your deck for any 2 basic Pokemon, put them onto your bench. So it looks like we are just doing a little bit of prize checking. The Pokemon are being brought up to the front. But we are obviously going to be going for that Radiant Greninja. The nice shiny form of Greninja allows you to discard a card to draw 2 every single turn that you have a energy card in your hand to be able to, discard with it. We're also going to go for the Frigibax, the nice alternate art one. The 60 HP one is technically optimal, even though it does allow you to lose even harder to Lost Box than you normally would if you played the 70 HP one, but it does have 1 retreat cost as opposed to 2. So it is a little bit more relevant, because if you do start with the Frigibax, you do need to be able to retreat it, and retreating it for 2 is a lot harder. It's less energy efficient, of course. And looks like we are going to pass it back to this other player. We are going to go for an Ultra Ball here, getting rid of a Baxcalibur, putting down a Frigibax as well. And starting the Alolan Vulpix would be fantastic, as we saw in the last game. Alolan Vulpix being a very, very strong card in the mirror match of Chien-Pao. But we did see in the prize cam that the Alolan Vulpix VSTAR is prized, and it is high up in the prize card. So unless we have access to a Hisuian Heavy Ball to shuffle up those prizes, hopefully make it go down further towards the bottom, I don't know if the Vulpix will be a viable strategy in this particular match. So Ultra Balling for the Chien-Pao, we might just retreat into it to Shivery Chill, potentially. I would like to really see another Battle VIP Pass, or Nest Ball maybe, or even another Ultra Ball here would be pretty great. But obviously if they had the Battle VIP Pass, that would have been the first card that they went ahead and played. We can always just use the first attack on the Vulpix. I believe it does 10 plus 50 or something like that if the opponent's active Pokemon is a V. It does attack for 0 energies, but putting the energy onto it anyway, just so you can retreat on the next turn, not too bad. So yeah, it looks like there is 60 damage there now on that Luminion, so that does soften it up for a future turn. Not quite enough to put it into Greninja range, unfortunately, but we'll have to see if it ends up making a difference here. So because our player on the left did go first, we are now able to Irida. I get those two mixed up sometimes. They both start with I. Short names that start with I. We are going to be able to get an item card and a water Pokemon. Looks like we're going to search that Baxcalibur. Hopefully we already have that rare candy in hand to be able to rare candy into it. We're even going to Nest Ball I like that we're not going to shuffle our deck on offer the cut. We're just going to go ahead and play that Nest Ball immediately, saving that little bit of time. It's a bit of an optimization for the time rules. Make sure you have enough time in the game for both players. So we are going to Escape Rope here. That's going to force 2 Pokemon up that this player does not want in the active spot. So it looks like we are going to choose the Chien-Pao. Hopefully our Chien-Pao does not get knocked out this turn. We would have preferred the Vulpix to stay in the active spot because of the fact that we did prize the VSTAR. We get a lot more use out of the Chien-Pao now during the match than we would the Vulpix. So it looks like it's the player on the left's game to win. But will they be able to? We do have, is that a Superior Energy Retrieval we see in hand? I'd like to say that we've been seeing quite a lot of bling on this Champions League stream, but it's just been the same, like, 2 players multiple times. So, yeah. We do Rare Candy into a second Baxcalibur. I think that that pretty much seals the game up at this point, just because now there is no way to get rid of one Baxcalibur. Or no, that was the first Rare Candy Baxcalibur. For some reason, I thought they already Rare Candied into a Baxcalibur. Is that just a pass? Oh man. Does not have the energy to take the knockout. And now you put this Chien-Pao up for the opposing player, and it's helping them now. They're able to now Shivery Chill, get to conserve that 1 energy in play, not having to discard it. And that's 1 less energy that they need to put in play in order to take this knockout. Because the Chien-Pao EX does discard an energy from any of your Pokemon in order to do 60 damage times each. So you can discard that energy off of the Vulpix. We're going to Rare Candy into Baxcalibur. We're going to evolve into the Alolan Vulpix V-Star, so we must be playing a 2-2 line because there is definitely a Vulpix V-Star in the prize cards. And now we are in a spot where we can just absolutely destroy the game here. And looks like we're just going to fully load up the Vulpix and pass. I think that that is very scary. I'm not sure if I agree with that. Maybe just hold the energy might have been a little bit more correct in my opinion, just because your opponent now can always just cross-switcher it up and knock it out. Or boss's orders. I also do like that on the Japan stream they do zoom out the camera sometimes when it is relevant. During our like American and whatnot, our TPCI matches, we always see just one static camera and it never zooms in or out. Sometimes they'll like zoom in on a player's face or something and take the action away from the entire game, but when Japan does it, they're showing the board from that player's perspective instead, and I really like that. I always like the direction. Whoever the director for the stream is in Japan is always pretty great. I do prefer watching their streams to ours in that regard. Although there's nothing really wrong with ours, in all honesty. It's better than some other games, I'll say that much. So it looks like we are going to boss's orders, bring up that Vulpix V-Star, and we're going to load 4 energy now to the Chien-Pao. And is that enough to take the knockout? That should be 240. That is exactly the HP value on that Alolan Vulpix V-Star. And we will be able to take the knockout, and it looks like this player on the left now fully set up with the Baxcalibur with the Chien-Pao in the active. Even has a Bidoof on the bench for good measure, as well as another Frigibax. Getting rid of that Alolan Vulpix V-Star, the huge threat, before it is even able to attack. The opponent was not able to find any sort of switching card to be able to use its attack. So it could have very easily gone to this Vulpix player, but I think at this point in the game, I don't think that the Vulpix player will be able to pull this out. We are going to go for the Ino here as well. Going to shuffle our hands to the bottom of the deck, and then draw a fresh amount of cards equal to our prize cards from the top of the deck. So for our player on the left, that is 4 cards. For the player on the right, it is 6, since they have not taken any prize cards. INO, a lot more balanced of a card than the N was in previous formats, but sometimes I do prefer that my hand got shuffled into the deck instead of just put to the bottom, because then I could redraw into something I was already holding. But you know, I think for balance reasons, it is correct to have it that way. But there are times where I can make sure my deck is super thin, and then put exactly what I want to have remaining in my deck back into it with something like a Super Rod, and then I get Iono'd into exactly what I need. That's a fun thing to do with Gardevoir. That's what I was doing in Pittsburgh. I did, what was it? I had a 4-card deck, and I Super Rodded 1 Shining Arcana Gardevoir into the deck, and then Iono'd myself to 4, and then used concealed cards, or something, or refinement. It was one of the two. And then I drew into all 5 of those cards plus another one. Looks like we are going to see an escape rope here. It's going to force one of the opposing Pokemon into the active. And then we're going to have to switch ourselves as well. I'm not sure what the escape rope really does for you in this situation, though. Also, just noticed they have a Greninja plushie there on the side for the player on the right. Love that. Love the Greninja plushie. I do not have a Greninja plushie of my own. I wish I did. They're too expensive for my taste. Putting our own Manaphy into the active spot, that could actually just allow the opponent to have a very easily canceling Cologne play if they want to attack with the Greninja, but I don't think that there's a lot on the board for the player on the right that is susceptible to the Greninja, so I think we would rather just have a Cross Switcher play this turn, or a Boss's Orders. Will we be able to piece that together, though? I don't think that I see the hand being all of that strong, so I'm going to go for the concealed cards, drawing 2. See if maybe that makes our hand a little bit stronger. We get a Lost City, as well as, is that maybe a Nest Ball? It's something that we already have a copy of in hand. I can't really tell, because they're all gold, so can't really see the picture that well with the way he's holding the hand, but looks like we are going to go for the Super Rod. We're going to shuffle back in some Water Energies. That way we could potentially use Shivery Chill again. Usually you want to leave your Water Energies in the discard pile because of the superior energy retrieval, but there are so many energies in the discard right now that is perfectly fine to shuffle 3 of them into the deck with the Super Rod, making Shivery Chill more live. We are also going to go for the Hisuian Heavy Ball, allowing us to get a basic Pokemon out of our prize cards. We are going to choose the Palkia V. We're probably only playing a 1/1 line of that card, so might as well get that out of there. In case one of our Pokemon does go down on this next turn, we will have a bench space for that and be able to use its VSTAR power to load up 3 energy into play without having to find our way into a... well, actually, no. That would take 2 turns because we need to bench the Palkia V first, then evolve it to the Palkia VSTAR. So a little bit of a ways off from being able to have that as a relevant play, but looks like we're going to get a Boss's Orders for that Baxcalibur now. And just a pass. The Baxcalibur does have a 2 retreat cost, I believe, so it is a little bit heavy. So it might just be another pass, and it is. The Boss's Orders being able to effectively stall here, but I mean, what are you stalling for? Your hand is Double Battle, VIP Pass, Rare Candy, Water Energy. Just going to attach an energy for the turn and pass. Not even being able to use Super Cold. And yeah, it's just a draw pass fest from both players. Not either of them not being able to do anything. Also, putting those Water Energies back into the deck does allow higher odds of drawing into the Water Energy, which makes higher odds of being able to use concealed cards. And it looks like the concealed cards does get Rare Candy and Irida. Irida is now going to be able to search the deck for any item card and any water Pokemon. So I would say maybe search the deck for the Palkia V-Star or Illuminion for a future turn. In case your hand doesn't get disrupted, you could get the Palkia V-Star after the Palkia V goes down. Would not be too bad of an option. Or just get another Baxcalibur if you don't already have one there, because now you can Rare Candy into a second Baxcalibur. And yep, that's exactly what we go for. We search the Baxcalibur, Rare Candy into the second one, and now we can Super Cold some energies into play using that superior energy retrieval. But will we have a relevant attack this turn is the real question. Looks like we are going to use that superior energy retrieval, discarding one of our nest balls as well as another rare candy. We should be out of rare candies at this point, but it's fine because we have double Baxcalibur in play. We could even attack with the Baxcalibur this turn if we really wanted to. I think that that's actually not that bad of a play. You only need 3 energies to do it. You take the 1 prize card on the mana fee. You're kind of wasting those energies if you do retreat them. So yeah, I think I just go ahead and attack with the Baxcalibur, and that's exactly what he's doing. That's awesome. I like that play. Because if you like retreat it into, say, the Chien-Pao, then you have to discard the energies off the Baxcalibur to retreat, and then also discard the energies with the Chien-Pao's attack, just to be doing the same thing you could do for having that Baxcalibur in the active spot. And if it gets knocked out, well, you know, you still have an energy card in hand potentially. And the same amount of energies on board. So it looks like we are going to Shivery Chill yet again. No Radiant Greninja in play means no extra drawing here. We are going to Super Cold a couple of energies into play. Now we can attack with the Chien-Pao, but that's going to get you 1 prize card. This is your first prize card of the game. I think you discard all 3 off of the active Chien-Pao. But I guess you're just hoping that your Chien-Pao doesn't get knocked out because you don't have access to the Vulpix VSTAR. I think right there, yeah, you definitely knock off all the energy off of your active Pokemon and hope to God that you pull exactly your second Alolan Vulpix V-Star out of the prize cards, and that then you can INO your opponent every single turn to not be able to find their way to the double cross switcher to take their final prize on the Baxcalibur. So there was a potential road to victory, but of course that Vulpix was too high up in the prize cards for that to even be something that you could have done. But that would have been the optimal play, is just try to go for the Vulpix V-Star. Hope that you get it, and if you don't get it off the prize cards, just, you know, basically pass. But you do see that your opponent goes for the boss's orders, so that does play around my play that I was talking about anyway. And yep, in case that Vulpix was taken from the prize cards, we are now going to be able to knock this thing out into oblivion. Leaving the Chien-Pao in play does not matter too much because your opponent can get a 2 prize knockout, but that will put them at 3 remaining, and you will be at 1 prize card remaining, so you just need to knock out anything that your opponent puts up in order to win the game. We do finally find a superior energy retrieval, and we can Shivery Chill here as well, so that superior can discard the double battle VIP pass, get 4 energies from the discard pile into hand. Looks like we're going to Shivery Chill for 1 energy. That must be all that's left in the deck at this point. We do need to take a knockout and just basically hope that the opponent whiffs. We do not have access to an INO, I don't believe. If we did have an INO, that would be the perfect card to play right here. Just load as much energy into play as possible before the INO and then play it. Put your opponent at 1 card in hand and hope they just cannot get there. Cannot find the Palkia V-Star, cannot find the boss's orders or the superior energy retrieval, things of that nature. Yep, just going to load as many energies into play as possible. Might as well. All onto the active. I guess if the base bench Pokemon goes down, it's knocked out anyway. You lose anyway, so might as well put it all to the active. And no INO there. Still not even taking the Vulpix V-Star off the prize cards. But at this point, oh yeah, and that Greninja's been in the prize cards the whole game as well. So that's been very relevant here. Not even being able to find a Hisuian Heavy Ball to pull that out of the prize cards if you are playing that card. Gonna go for another bench of a Chien-Pao here. Gonna attach and retreat, potentially, our active Pokemon. And we do have the Star Portal. Oh, and even the Skater's Park. So we can retreat, keeping that energy back into the hand. And then we can use Palkia's V-Star power, getting 3 energies And then we can even attach the other energy that's in hand, and we can discard all of our energies that are in play and kill that Chien-Pao for overkill and take the game. So the player on the right now does go to 0-3, which is very unfortunate for them. Again, don't really think they played bad. I think they just kind of bricked that game. Is very unfortunate for them. And the player on the right, the player on the left finally getting a win after being on stream 3 times, not being able to get there. So as always, guys, do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe, because it is very important for the YouTube algorithm in order to make sure that you see more videos like this and that I get recommended to others that might enjoy it as well. And we will see you guys next time for hopefully not another Chien-Pao deck. Oh god, Nate's gonna hate this when he sees it, Nate Hathaway. If you guys saw the vlog, check out the vlog if you didn't.